is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Travis Fortnum. 7 weeks into 2026, Windsor police say they are investigating the city's first suspected murder of the year. Investigators say a 44-year-old man was found hurt in the parking lot outside the Met campus of Windsor Regional Hospital early this morning. While they didn't disclose the nature or extent of the injuries, they say he was taken into the ER and pronounced dead. The Major Crimes Unit has taken control of the investigation.
No ongoing risk to public safety at this time. If that changes, we will definitely put out some messaging letting the public know that that's the case. But at this time, there's no risk to public safety. But I don't have any further information. The investigation is still in its early stages, and Major Crimes are, working hard to put everything together at this time.
Windsor police also searching for a man after a road rage reportedly turned violent in the East End. Officers say it started with a heated exchange between two drivers before spilling into a gas station parking lot on Wyandotte Street East. Police say the argument escalated into a fight, leaving one person seriously injured. The suspect, described as a white man in his 50s or 60s wearing all black, he's now wanted for assault causing bodily harm. And officers also trying to identify a suspect in a reported bicycle theft. Police say a bike was taken from an apartment building on McDougall Avenue, though they don't say when. The suspect, described as a white woman between 40 and 50, was caught on surveillance video leaving the area with the bike. She's seen wearing a blue winter coat, jeans, and black boots. Anyone with information is asked to contact Windsor Police or Crime Stoppers. In the county, OPP are investigating a Valentine's Day hit and run and an unrelated string of vehicle break-ins. On Saturday morning, they say a pickup truck hit a light pole on the EC Row off-ramp at Matchett Road and drove off. At the same time, officers are dealing with multiple overnight vehicle thefts from vehicles, including on Arthur, Fairview, and Wilson Avenues. Police are reminding drivers to lock their vehicles, remove valuables, and report any suspicious activity. They also ask for you to report any information in either case. You can give them a call. A Leamington man is charged after a disturbance at a Highway 402 rest stop near Sarnia last Monday the 9th. OPP say pepper spray was used during an altercation between two people, leaving minor injuries. A 48-year-old is charged with assault with a weapon and has been released with a future court date. Chatham-Kent police have laid charges after they say an intimate photo was taken and shared without consent. Officers say the image was taken of a 29-year-old woman without her knowledge, then shared. Police received the complaint Tuesday, and a 30-year-old Wallaceburg man later turned himself in. He's now charged with voyeurism and publishing an intimate image without consent. A house fire in Chatham caused an estimated $200,000 in damage. Crews were called to West Street Tuesday evening, finding flames spreading into the attic of the home. Firefighters were able to put it out, and no injuries were reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. In Ottawa, another Conservative MP has crossed the floor to join the Liberals. With more, here's CTV's Mike Lacouture.
Matt brings a wealth of experience.
Prime Minister Mark Carney praising his newly poached MP. Matt Genereux says his decision to leave the Conservatives was more about the team he was joining.
Quite simply couldn't sit on the sidelines after seeing what the Prime Minister was, the ambitious agenda he was undertaking across the country and across the world.
In November, Genereux said he was leaving politics to spend more time with his family. But the Alberta MP says it was Carney's speech at Davos that convinced him to change his mind.
I think it opened a lot of eyes for Canadians, Albertans, Edmontonians, just how serious this national meeting crisis truly is.
A Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, responded on social media, calling the floor crossing a betrayal of the people in Genereux's riding who voted for affordable food and homes, safe streets, and a strong resource sector. And some believe Genereux could suffer the consequences of his decision in the next federal election.
When he starts knocking on doors, he's going to get a bit of a wake-up call that these people didn't vote for a good speech in Davos. They voted for a Conservative member of Parliament to represent their Conservative values, and that's not what they're getting.
But Poilievre could feel the effects first. Genereux is the third MP he's lost to the Liberals in the last 4 months. While polls have the Liberals and Conservatives in a dead heat, Carney has a 29-point lead when it comes to preferred prime minister.
When some caucus members leave to cross the floor to join the Liberals, that's their own vote of what I'll say discontent with Pierre Poilievre as a leader and as a potential prime minister.
Now, this latest floor crosser leaves the Liberals 3 seats shy of a majority. And with 3 by-elections coming up, they could get that majority without holding a general election. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Federal Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu still in Windsor today promoting the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit.
It's intended to really, take the sting out of inflation. So it's obviously not going to replace a person's grocery bill, but it is going to help with the inflationary pressures that we're seeing specifically in certain products.
Speaking at the Unemployed Help Center Hub of Opportunities, Hajdu said the program will replace and enhance the GST credit. There will be a one-time top-up payment this spring, followed by a 25% increase over the next 5 years. Ottawa estimates more than 12 million Canadians will benefit, acknowledging food bank use is skyrocketing.
They're going to have extra funds, and they can go to the grocery store now and get the items they might not otherwise get. So that'll allow them to pick out and select food items that they should be able to afford. And now they'll be able to take that money and go to the grocery store and get those items.
1 week after tragedy struck the community of Tumbler Ridge, BC, a group of Windsor quilters are looking to sow a message of support from thousands of kilometers away. Needles at the ready, they're prepping quilts to warm residents rocked by the mass shooting. CTV's Robert Lothian has that story.
Connecting each piece of fabric, quilter Marianne McLean considers the needle's direction, the desired pattern, and perhaps most important, the quilt's future home.
In the grand scheme of things, when you're making a quilt, sometimes you think about the people that you're making it for.
Right now, those people are members of the reeling community in Tumbler Ridge, BC. Last week, 8 people were killed by a shooter in an attack that spanned a northern BC school and residence. Looking to help, members of the Windsor Quilters Guild are trying to stitch together hope for those who need it.
It's just what we do, and it's nice to know that they have support from afar, and even from Windsor.
A guild member visiting BC first pitched the idea. Collaborating with quilting groups across the region, 15 quilts are already prepared to go. Warming figures and creative patterns, quilts are made for those of any age or gender.
It's a hug from far away and makes us feel good.
Longtime quilter Sue Inkster, who herself lost a child at a young age, says sending messages of support is the Canadian thing to do. During past tragedies, like the 2018 Humboldt Broncos bus crash, Inkster says Windsor's quilters answered the call.
Feeling the sorrow they're feeling, and knowing that you're too far away to do anything. Saying anything doesn't help because we know that pain, so a quilt is a good answer.
The Guild is working to determine how to transport the quilts to BC, believing their arrival will carry a message to a community thousands of kilometers away.
They need to be comforted, and they need to know that we're along with them.
It's warm, and it's a hug, and somebody somewhere is thinking about me.
Robert Lothian, CTV News, Windsor.
You can now grab a drink in Windsor as early as 6 a.m. thanks to the Olympics. The city has been granted a temporary extension allowing licensed bars and restaurants to serve alcohol earlier during the games. The move lets fans gather for early morning events, including Team Canada hockey. The change is only in place until February 22nd. Last call remains 2 a.m. and the earlier hours apply indoors only. And fans were out today to watch Canada's men's team. It wasn't a medal game, but it was definitely a nail-biter. The team, which was expected to cruise into the finals, almost lost to Czechia. CTV's Rahim Ladani has fan reaction.
excitement, relief, and everything in between.
I'm in disbelief. I have shivers. It was insane. I can't believe it.
Team Canada's men's hockey team is moving on to the semi-finals after a nail-biter that saw Canada fall behind to Czechia in the third period.
Canada by far has the most skill, the most talent, the most speed, the most of everything, except for right now, potentially not the best strategy, because right now it almost bit them on their butt. They almost got in trouble.
Inside the Dog and Bear pub in Queen West, fans are speaking directly to the game-winning goal scorer.
On behalf of Toronto, Mitch Marner, all is forgiven. That was beautiful.
The former Toronto Maple Leaf delivered the heroics, scoring in overtime to lift Canada over the Czechs. The moment even prompting his former team to tweet a Canadian flag and magician's wand for some Marner magic. But that's already creating backlash amongst fans, who are calling out the organization for trading him, while others haven't forgotten Marner's playoff track record with the blue and white.
The worst guy you know made a great goal. Right.
At the Ford Performance Center, Gino watched the thrilling game from start to finish.
My heart was in my chest, and now we breathe easy, and gold medal still in sight. Only gold for Canada.
However, Team Canada isn't skating away unscathed. Captain Sidney Crosby suffered an apparent injury and left the ice midway through the second period. As Canada now prepares for their semi-final match on Friday, some feel this cliff-hanging game will actually help the team moving forward.
You see the teams that have a more difficult route to the final, they tend to win these types of games and these types of trophies, and it's more memorable.
Now Canada will need at least one more win to guarantee themselves a medal at these Olympic Games. Rahim Ladani, CTV News, Toronto.
To the ongoing drama around the Gordie How Bridge now, with Democrats in Washington saying they're escalating an investigation into President Trump's threat to stall the opening. They allege Trump's social media post came just hours after U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick met with Matthew Maroon, the billionaire owner of the rival Ambassador Bridge, whose family has long opposed the new crossing. In a letter, Democrats say wealthy donors should not be holding secret meetings with administration officials to influence economic and foreign policies, and they're calling for answers about what was discussed. This coming as an unrelated report from a Michigan firm warns delays opening the bridge could cost around $7 million per week.
You have to pay electricity, you've got to pay for the lighting, you've got to pay for insurance, and these things need a lot of maintenance, so you're going to have that. And then you have some staffing costs. You can't lay everybody off. So it is a certain amount of money that has to be spent.
Meantime, at the foot of the Ambassador Bridge, the University of Windsor is receiving new provincial funding for freshwater research. The Ontario government handing over $50,000 to support research into local fisheries and aquatic ecosystems. The funding is part of a broader $235,000 investment in 7 projects across the province. At Windsor, the work will focus on issues like invasive species and changing water conditions, which can impact fish and habitats. Other universities, including Ottawa and Lakehead, are also receiving funding. Windsor City Council is being asked to approve a plan to replace 36 aging playgrounds across Windsor. The cost to do so is estimated around $16.3 million, and work could happen in 2027. City staff say the playgrounds have reached the end of their life cycle based on inspections and condition assessments. Officials say starting now helps avoid gaps where neighborhoods could be left without a playground. And Jackson Park is fully reopening to the public with the Bright Lights Windsor display taken down. City officials say all the lights have been packed away and the park's pathways, trails, and parking lot are once again accessible. There are still some fences that need to come down, which they say will happen as the weather warms up. The town of LaSalle looking at a potential licensing system for short-term rentals like Airbnbs. Officials weighing a program that would require operators to register and follow rules around fire, building, and safety standards. The licenses would also require liability insurance and come with a fee. Council is set to review the report on the idea Monday night and is asking residents to share their feedback before any decision is made. And NWIN says it's looking at adding an outage map for ELK Energy customers in Essex. This after they took over the utility last year. The company told Essex Council it's working to improve communication during power outages, including the possibility of an online map showing where outages are happening. No timeline has been set. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
You could feel that everyone was super nervous.
And still ahead, Canadians everywhere stopping to watch Canada's men's advance in Olympic hockey, including the Windsor Spitfires. Your weekly sports wrap-up coming up. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather for tonight. And Gary, we are still talking about rain.
Rain and fog, you're right about that. Good evening once again, folks. The worst case scenario tonight is that we'll see foggy conditions and maybe even a slight risk of freezing rain, freezing fog. That's the worst combination, right? Reduced visibility, plus the surfaces are icy potentially. Not good. Happening at night. Obviously, the circumstances require that we have the headlight systems on our vehicles, and we just take extra time. 11 degrees today. Wow, well above seasonal. Not a record, though. And our norm getting closer. By tomorrow will be officially 1 degree Celsius for a daytime high. It's creeping up there. This system, along this quasi-stationary boundary, it was responsible for a mess right across the Midwestern tier of Southern Ontario proper and further east towards the Golden Horseshoe, with rain changing over to snow. And then in the midst of that, we had significant freezing rain. We were fortunate in extreme southwestern Ontario to be in the fog and the light drizzle instead, and certainly warm enough to see that. Next system rides on through, leading edge with some rain. And there's even a potential of a rumble or two of some thunder. And that was the story earlier today and last night across southern parts of Michigan. Again, we were unscathed, but it was in the vicinity. All this moisture, rising air, convection, yes, can take place if the ingredients are there, and it's certainly been well above seasonal of late. Yes, that's snow on this map. As we look towards Friday afternoon, we're going to see a significant cool down and maybe even some icy weather for the weekend. More on that in just a moment. The rainfall tallies are not impressive the next 24 hours, less than 5 millimeters. Temperatures do cool off somewhat, down to 2 degrees before dawn tomorrow morning. The freezing rain risk I'm rating at about a 30% chance of an occurrence. Fogginess, though, much higher, 60 to 80% chance. And we've been foggy over the last 3 days straight at times. There's your breakdown through to 5 o'clock, up to 7 degrees. And we're likely to see the rain in the late afternoon, early evening. Here's the next 7 days. 7 degrees, followed by 7 degrees mild and wet, rainy, cloudy. And then we cool off for the weekend, 3, then 1, and then flurries. Look at this, with a mix from Saturday through to the middle of next week.
Thank you, Gary. There will be fewer flight options for travelers heading to the U.S. in the months ahead. That's those who are still traveling there due to a decline in demand. Canadian air carriers are reducing or canceling service altogether. Here's CTV's Alex Carpa.
Yeah, this is myself with my daughter when she was going to school just outside of Pittsburgh.
Mike Gebhardt is a frequent traveler to the United States.
Oh, on average, I would probably travel 3, 4, maybe 5.
His daughter lives in Alabama, but visiting her sometimes is not easy.
I do fly out of Saskatchewan most of the time, so it is a bit of a challenge. Leave early in the morning, come back late at night.
And traveling could get a little more chaotic for passengers like Gebhardt moving forward. WestJet and Air Transat recently slashed several routes from Canada to U.S. cities. WestJet saying the decision comes from, quote, a notable decline in trans-border travel demand.
It's something to always be aware of.
Statistics Canada data last month showed that Canadians continue to take fewer trips to the U.S. in November 2025 amid the ongoing trade war and declining dollar. Travel agent Daryl Silver says passengers shouldn't be worried about this shift.
Yes, could there be more problems now? I suppose, but in general, I don't think that that's significant if that is happening.
A few travel experts we spoke to say passenger demand to the U.S. from Canada is down and say it's no surprise that airlines like WestJet and Air Transat are reducing these routes.
It's one of those things where they feel they can focus on domestic, where they excel, especially on the West Coast, and become more profitable. It's good for them.
John Graddick says the reduction is consumer-driven.
Not driven by the weather, not driven by anything else. Consumers have decided that they'd rather spend their leisure travel dollars on flights other than the USA, and they're reacting to that.
As for Gebhardt, he says he'll continue traveling to the U.S. to see his daughter, but when it comes to vacationing south of the border, he admits he's thinking twice, especially as flight options are reduced. Alex Carper, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canada's most iconic coffee cup tradition is officially rolling back. Tim Hortons says Roll Up the Rim returns Monday, and yes, you'll once again be peeling back the actual rim of your cup to see if you've won. The classic contest went digital during the pandemic, but the physical cups are now back for good. The markets are up today. The TSX gaining 493 points, while the Dow added 129 and the Nasdaq 175. Canadian dollar dropped 0.12 of a cent today. Gold gained more than $103 an ounce, and oil is up $2.79 a barrel. Well, Canadians all over tuned in for that men's overtime win on Olympic ice earlier today, including those in the Windsor Spitfires locker room.
Kind of just brings everyone together. Obviously, it's the best hockey players in the world, so it's really fun to watch and get to spend time with these guys.
So much fun, like me being Czech and most of the guys being Canadian, right? So it's kind of a rivalry there. Like they're cheering for Canada, I'm cheering for Czechia. So it's definitely fun to get together and watch that game.
Greentree trying to get loose. Papoy, couple of whacks. Davis back to help out defensively, and now Greentree's going to hold on to it. Turning, firing, scoring!
The Spits themselves have some serious momentum. Captain Liam Greentree continuing to lead the way as Windsor swept last weekend to keep pace in the Western Conference race. Now it's back to Kitchener, where they struggled last time, and a chance to show just how much they've grown.
Yeah, it's a really important game, and I think the next game's always the most important of the year now on. So, yeah, just focusing on that, and yeah, I think we've had a really good weekend leading up to it. It's going to be a race till the end, and every single point matters, heading into playoffs, and yeah, so that just makes Friday night even more important.
Local swimmers are making waves and filling the lanes at OFSA.
We were really close last year, and I was just so proud that they were able to swim their best times and finally win the overall championship. And like I said, it's really cool to be the first team in 45 years to do that.
A total of 125 Windsor-Essex athletes have qualified for the provincial championships, which are being held right here next month. And the Essex Red Raiders are leading the charge. They ended a 45-year drought to win the city title, thanks in part to standout grade 9 swimmer Bryn Howard, who won 4 events and continues to post personal bests.
I was surprised because, I don't know, I didn't think we would be this good, but this is awesome. I think we're going to send a lot of people, is what I'm saying.
Because obviously swimming can be very nerve-wracking and very overwhelming sometimes, but having a team like that just puts so much fun into it and just really makes you want to keep going.
And playoff season is here. The Windsor Lancers are front and center.
Shapcott, they keep it alive off the block, and Cooney is stuffed at the net.
The men's volleyball team enters the postseason as one of the best in the country. They went 30-1 at home and dropped just 14 sets all year. Now they open the playoffs against Waterloo, a veteran team that's expected to push them. But the Lancers know what's at stake and how hard it is to win at this time of year.
They have players who are in their 4th and 5th years who have been around the block, and our players know them well. So it's an interesting matchup in that there will be no surprises, and we have a lot of respect for them. We know that they're a strong team. This is for keeps, so we're definitely going to be bringing our best.
A costly turnover there for Lakehead, and Windsor strikes first.
And the Lancers men's hockey team has already earned a little breathing room. A 4-2 win at Lakehead locked up first place in the West, and with it, a first-round bye. That means extra rest and time to prepare as they wait to see who they'll face in round 2.
We just seemed like we were the fresher of the two teams when we played the next 2 rounds, and I hope it's the same this year. You know, you never know, but you know, everybody that's in the tournament now they're excellent. So any advantage that you can get is much needed.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Gary's back with another look at the 7-day forecast. And Gary, you got a lot of rain icons on this forecast.
A lot of rain icons. And what is it with rain? Some people, it's, you know, something that relaxes them. It makes me hungry for some reason. Earlier today, during the evening, I had a burger because it was foggy. It's just something that evolves for me, personally. But in all seriousness, that fog could be an issue as we head through the overnight. Reduced visibility, take your time. Rain, freezing rain, a light drizzly freezing rain, freezing fog between, say, midnight and 4 a.m. is a possibility. Friday, look at this, still rainy, 7 degrees the next couple of days for daytime highs, and then it just gets cooler with rain changing over to flurries and a mixture of the two Saturday through to Wednesday of next week. And yes, we will see temperatures in the minuses for daytime highs and lows. Wherever you are, have a good, safe night. Safe travels as always. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Gary. Well, depending on who you ask, the Olympic highlight of the day wasn't in men's hockey, and it wasn't even from an Olympian. Well, not an official one. This escaped pet, a 2-year-old wolf dog, ran away from his home near the course and straight into Olympic action. He chased after skiers and even crossed the finish line himself. While he didn't win a medal, he did win hearts around the world before officials escorted him off the track. That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.